space?
Yeah, you asked me if what kind of world did I feel I was in, and I thought, no, I wouldn't say world at all, because there was nothing, there was no discernible features to create a world. I was in a space, and I felt like the space I was in was being created as wherever I looked. Whether I was moving forward, the floor was being created for me, or if I look at walls, the walls was created for me as well.
What time is it right now?
But it wasn't a world. I would never describe it as a world.
And what about after the dog appeared and that transition happened? How would you describe that different space that you were in?
Well, the dog actually separated, object foreground from foreground background kind of thing. For the object and the dog really separated this. It gave me a sense, more of a sense of objects in this space. The squares and the wand thing, that didn't do that for me. I didn't sit with it. I'm like, why am I seeing squares? But the dog gave a little bit more of something I could latch onto and kind of decipher where I was at in relationship to this space. Like the dog was an object in this space, and I could attach to the dog. It wasn't so much focusing on the walls anymore, the floor anymore, because I was confused by some of that. Because the floor sometimes, some blocks are high, some blocks are low, and knowing what I know about this thing, I was thinking, well, I know this is solid floor. I know there's no step down there, but I was interpreting it as by seeing the 3D-ness of the blocks, one high, one low, that there was a step down, a step up, and I knew that wasn't the case. But the dog, was just, the dog was always in my, when he got to feet level, he was always there. Sometimes he was high up and he wasn't on a square, he was just in the air. So I didn't get that way. The dog was all sometimes high in the air and sometimes low. So he wasn't, when he was high at eye level or even above my head, he wasn't on anything. He wasn't on any block or any surface. He was just hanging in the air.
Okay. You said the sense of depth, you didn't get that until...
When I looked down at the floor sometimes, there was a sense that there was one block was higher and there was blocks lower. And I know the floor is flat, so I knew that, right? But in this world, or in this space, I should say, it looked like there was a step down. It looked like there was like the floor wasn't even. There's some sort of lower points to it. Because some blocks are high, some blocks are low. But I didn't get that, and I knew that wasn't the case.
And you said
So
something
it
about...
wasn't reading, like the walls were, when I looked at a wall, it was pretty solid.
Yeah. And you said something about like the dog did something to you versus the wand creating blocks.
No, let me think what I said there. Interpret that. No, the dog wasn't so much doing anything to me, because I didn't know what to do with the dog.
Okay.
I didn't know how to interact with the dog or what to do with the dog, because the wand seemed to have there was no action to it. There was nothing, there was no response to it. And then also when you told me to poke the bushes, I would poke the square. When you say bushes, that's why it took me a while to figure out what you meant, because it wasn't a bush. It was a square, it was a green square. You should have said poke the green square, because it wasn't a bush. And so I poked the green square, nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like when you did it with the thing, the dog, the sheep came out.
Yeah.
And it started following me around, which was kind of cool. I mean, I get that. I get that kind of thing. I mean, for a kid would love that.
Yeah.
Young kid would love sheep following them.
Okay.
You recording me, Wade?
Yeah, it's so that we can look back over the information and stuff, but it's so much that we can't see. Oh yeah, also in the first school you saw, was they easy for you to understand? The pictures that you saw, like before you put on the headset.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that was easy to understand. I got that pretty. I got that pretty fast. That wasn't a problem.
Okay, any of them that
there was one. I can't remember what it was. The question is, there was one that I thought it said, don't look at angles, don't look at. I was going to look at a wall, and it said, don't look at a flat surface, look at something like an object or something. I got that, but there was one that I didn't get at the beginning. It was in the middle of it, and I don't remember where that was. What exactly that was.
Okay. We can bring you a tablet and show it to you for the purpose.
Yeah.